Why were people mad? Basically because they give nothing, and at least Melee have to give up on things. Like no Slippy, no UCF. So for Melee, for people that go to Genesis with Melee in mind, for them it's like literally a downgrade. For people that go for Ultimate, I guess they get Nintendo ads. I don't think they're providing any setups, but don't quote me on that. I know a lot of Nintendo sponsored tournaments in the past have not provided a single setup, but I'm not gonna say that's the case for Genesis because I actually don't know for sure. I just know that many Nintendo sponsored tournaments haven't gotten a single setup. What does the sponsorship do? Well, basically Nintendo gets free advertisement, and the tournament organizers don't risk getting their tournament shut down, which Nintendo in the past have shown that they have tried to do. EVO 2013, they tried to shut down the Melee tournament. MLG back in like 06. Like, you guys remember in the Smash documentary, like the episode with the Korean DJ, and he got like second, right? And he was like so sad about it, and he wanted to get a second chance to win MLG, and then MLG drops Melee. For a long time people didn't know, but that's actually because of Nintendo that MLG dropped Melee. I think it's the reason they dropped Brawl as well back in the day, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Genesis won't be the same without me and Mang0 in finals. I mean, even at Genesis 3, people did not want to see that final. I know it won't be the same in one way, but like, let's be honest, even at Genesis 3, most people did not want to see that final. But I will say, in my eyes at least, that was like always a cool thing with Genesis in the early ones, that we always ended up in grands. How can I rig the giveaway? Rumors says that $1,000, and you know, it might get a little bit rigged. No, I'm just kidding. I also, even though it's gonna be very hard, I'm curious to see how Axe will do against Hungrybox now. I did send Axe a lot of notes, and it was one thing yesterday, like, I needed to have tested, because I was like, I'm not sure if this works, but this could be very, very good if it does work. And it seems to work fairly good. So I was like, yes. I've never seen anyone really, like, to be fair, Axe is the only Pikachu, but I've never really seen him use this thing. It's like not something like crazy revolutionary, but it's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it feels weird, like, how did someone get very good without knowing like a very, very basic thing? And it's like, also at the end of the day, Melee is like such a deep game. There's like, yeah, I mean, like, it probably happens to like a lot of people. Like, not maybe like that specific example, but like, it's far from the first really good player I've heard. Like, really like misunderstanding / not knowing how basic stuff works. Like, the range thing on Fox Falco's Shine, like, it's bad not knowing it, but like, it's not the craziest thing. But the 8 angles on up B, that's actually crazy, because that's like, have you never like actually looked at a match? Do you have anyone you're hoping gets into Summit? Thank you so much for 30 bits, first off. And I mean, I hope Mewtwo and Mewtwo King, IBDW, Triff. That will be 3 players. I hope qualifies. And Ice. That'll be probably my dream lineup, the 4 of them. And the thing is, in Melee, unlike Ultimate, like, your DI and SDI matters way more. So even if you can't like get a move out when you're like stuck in hit stun, you can still interact from a defensive standpoint in like many ways more than you can in Ultimate. That's where you see like more
identical combos in Ultimate, because the person that gets comboed, even if it's not for like as long of a time on average, they can't really do like much to like mix it up. Yeah, I can understand that, Awakening. Like, if you don't have like a lot of experience of how it works, it probably can feel like you're very like, it's very hopeless sometimes. But it's a reason like Melee's still like so strong after all these years of how like complex the game is. Nah, I think I hate Puff more than he hates Ices. The worst thing with getting wobbled is like you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there looking like an idiot, and technically the match is going on, but you get to do nothing. But the thing is, like, yes, getting wobbled, you don't get to do anything, but playing Puff is kind of like, it's a wobble where you have the illusion that you actually can do something. You have the illusion that you actually can do something, but you're actually, like, in many situations, just forced to do nothing. Yeah, it's my case that did scream. It was many years ago, though. Mike is a really cool guy now. But yeah, that was obviously not cool, but that was like over a decade ago. Yeah, mods, take care of it. Take care of it. I think we probably gave at least 3 warnings yesterday. This is why the world is the way it is. When you try to give the benefit of the doubt, people sure as hell make sure that it was not worth it. What did he do? He basically was just incredibly annoying about the passport for like a long time yesterday. It's like, a passport, it can't just disappear. And like, it was just, he was keep going on, and a lot of people in chat was like really mad that he never stopped, even after they asked. And then I stepped in and was like, you know, take it easy, like, just drop it. And now first comment today, or at least first comment I saw, and it was like, you know, did he even bother looking for it? So it's like, alright, peace out, dude. It's not really crazy that the reaction is negative, because, like, it's not even like we get something good from it. Like, as a Melee player, you literally lose on having Nintendo sponsorship. Ultimate players, they get nothing. I guess you could argue that you get a tweet. You get 1 tweet, best case scenario. And the thing is also, if you think about it from a logical standpoint, if Nintendo actually did something noteworthy of like praise, why would Nintendo not want the community to want it? Because even Nintendo must understand that the relationship between the competitive scene and Nintendo is at best shaky, at best. So if they actually did anything that was like helping our scene out, why wouldn't they want us to know? Let's say like some people, I've heard people that believe this, that, oh, but they're helping with like paying for the venue fee. Let's say they chipped in $10,000 to, you know, make it easier for TOs not to go red. Why would they not, you know, let the people know? People that are like legit mad when they quote-unquote sponsor a tournament, why wouldn't they be like, alright, we're helping out, you know, to support this venue. We know entering events are expensive, and we want to like make Smash tournaments more accessible for everyone. Like, let's say, you know, young kids, for example. Paying like $100 for a major, that's a lot of money for a little kid. So even if you don't like pay a single dollar for the prize pool, you could make it cheaper for like everyone to attend the tournament. So if they did stuff like that, why wouldn't they want people to know? The reason is because they are not doing anything like that. So it's better to say nothing when they don't do anything, and then like a lot of idiots online will think that they are actually helping tournaments. But yeah, point still stands. Actually, my point is even stronger, even stronger now, because it literally means that entering events can be expensive for anyone. And that's a way Nintendo could help the scene a lot, with literally like not rewarding top players. Besides like the venue fee, but that's normally like covered by like top players' sponsors anyway. So it's not like they actually would like really get much of a reward themselves. So, yeah. If Nintendo were true to like because when they talk about like not having, you know, extra prize pools, and it's like, oh, we want to make it more like accessible for everyone, not that the prize pools actually make the game less accessible, but if they truly wanted to make tournaments more accessible for everyone, they would help paying for venue fees, so like more people could go and money was not an issue. So you very clearly see that what they're saying is just like a lie. Well, I mean, yeah, it's been like HBox meta for quite some time now, for sure. But it's like, it's a combination, obviously, of Hungrybox being really good. And honestly, I think a lot of top players, for a very long time, has been way too lazy at, like, trying to change that. Like, by lazy, I don't mean, like, it's like, oh, no one plays, like, melee, but, like, fighting Puff at that level, it's just so different from playing melee in general. So you have to like approach it differently. And I feel like a lot of people, like, especially players that are like below top 6, they kind of like do the same thing in every set. They lose like 10 times in a row. They maybe take a game here and there, but it's like you need to like change things to beat him. Like if you've lost like 10-15 times in a row, why do you think you're gonna win this time doing literally the same thing? Not like have any new tricks up your sleeve. Like you approach a neutral the same, you have the same like ways to kill, you have the same of everything. Like why do you believe that this time would make the difference? That's like praying that Hungrybox is just playing bad and that you will like get a lucky win. Not that you have like a long-term solution. I'm not saying that every player below top 10 is like that, but I feel like a lot of the players below like top 6 or whatever haven't done nearly enough. And if you actually look at their matches, it's very clear that not enough of a difference was attempted to be made. Like I normally say this like when people are like, you know, the whole talent thing. Like some people have this idea that every player that is like super good at melee, like they drastically improved from the start and was like a natural or like a shit ton of talent, and it was like obvious from the first time they played. But like for me, for example, I barely climbed the ranks for my first 2 years. I was kind of like roughly in the same spot. I improved a bit. Like when I started playing, I was probably like somewhere in like top 15 Sweden, and then like the scene, oh fuck, pretty quickly established to be like around 30-ish consistent players, and probably another like 20-ish like that went rarely to events. And I was like around, yeah, 15-ish when I started, and after 2 years I was like somewhere between 8th and 12th. So, and that was also like 1 or 2 players that had like stopped playing, at least 2 actually, that had stopped playing before I started to like climb up. So 2 of those few spots were like, yeah, better players stopped playing. So I didn't improve like at any drastic ratio whatsoever for 2 years, and at that point almost everyone that blame lack of talent would have given up at that point. Almost anyone. And by giving up, I don't mean like they necessarily like stop playing entirely, but they have like mentally given up and like don't properly practice. Do I still play with Leffen sometimes? We have legit not played a melee friendly. I think last time we played was Evo 2018.